Cô chú cô nhưng mà thử slide rồi thầy ơi lên đi vào rồi dậy không thể nó sẽ gì không chứ chọn rồi ok bạn này hello 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 louder okay so yeah today we finish introduction to computer and tax systems and now we study about tax on salary, one of the serious subjects come out during exam. We will get point around 10 to 15. If you know everything, probably you can get full mark 10 points. Yeah. Consider one of amongst one of the big subjects we have here. As we touching on a little bit about tax on salary, for the tax on salary imposed on the employees' salary incomes. Employee, if you are an employee, you need to pay, you're required to pay tax on salaries you earn each month. So tax on salary is a tax on incomes. If a tax on income, it would be the type of income tax, and it is a direct tax. Yeah, remember, they split the type of tax into two different type of tax: directs and indirect. Directs, the government collect tax on your income. Indirects collects on your expense, on your consumptions. Okay, we, throughout this topic, we require you to understand the scope of TOS, tax on salary. Identify income subject to tax on salary. What kinds of salary incomes that is subject to tax on salary, and some income may not be subject to tax on salary. Identify or calculate, tax on salary. How you're going to calculate tax on salary? That you will need to know about it. That is very important because every exam, calculate tax on salary, always have one question. You will got a two points. Calculate tax on salary. Yeah, every exam. Okay, so if you want to, research or learn more about tax on salary, trying to read law on taxation, you read in chapter 2 of the law on taxations that talking about tax on salary, and also you can read Prakas 543. Yeah, the whole Prakas is about tax on salary. Other notification, not much, but it's hard to find. So, but yeah, if you want to actually have it, probably you can ask. I probably have the. But in the textbook, they provide a very detailed the update. What is the regulation involved with different type of tax? If you want to understand more, you want to maybe read textbook is quite easy, but when you read law is different. Law is short, sometimes imply the meanings, need interpretation from experienced or experts. But textbook, we're trying to write something that would be easy to read, to understand, so that you can pass the exam even you don't have experience before. Yeah. Okay, scope of tax on salary. What is the scope? The scope of tax on salary, we identify about the residency of employees. Okay, residencies, which mean If you are a resident of Cambodia, you will tax like this. And if you are non-resident, you will tax differently. So we have to understand each employee residency status, whether they are a resident of Cambodia or a non-resident of Cambodia. So we are talking about residency here in tax law. It's not the same as we talk about citizenship. So a foreigner can be a resident of Cambodia without getting a citizenship. So, but they have to meet certain conditions. If a foreigner become a resident of Cambodia, they will pay the same tax as Cambodian people. So resident of Cambodia, generally, all of us, all Cambodian people, all Cambodian citizens. So, but foreigner also can become a resident of Cambodia under tax law and pay the same tax as we are Cambodian. So we need to understand about the status, and then we need to understand what is the source of salary incomes. Because when you work at one organization, sometimes you get paid not just one payments, but many, 3 or 4 or 5. It depends on a remuneration policies of each organization. Some that will provide you more, more payments. Okay. So if we're talking about resident and non-residents, if you are a resident under tax law, you are subject to tax on salary on Cambodian source and foreign source. So one is Cambodian source, second is foreign source. So it means it doesn't matter where the salary income you get it from, all need to pay tax here in Cambodia. So sometimes you work here in Cambodia, you get paid from the employer in Cambodia. But at the same time, maybe the same month, you work for a foreign employers, and then you get paid by foreign employer. You as the Cambodian residents and the tax law, you have to add all the two sources together and pay full tax here in Cambodia. Yeah, so it means Cambodian tax systems, they collect income tax, especially tax on salary, on worldwide income. However, if your status is non-resident, if you are non-resident, you need to pay only Cambodian source income salary, Cambodian source salary. So you don't need to pay tax on your foreign source income. That if in case you are a non-resident. So if you look at this, maybe you say, I don't want to be a resident. I want to be a non-resident. If you're a resident, I pay a lot of tax. But if a non-resident, I only pay Cambodian source income. That's some sort of the difference. And that's why when we do tax planning, that is something we can do, like what we are talking about, tax avoidance, change the status of a taxpayer. You can see that if I become a resident, I need to pay a worldwide incomes. A lot of money, I make some from Cambodia, some from overseas. Cambodia may be a small part of it, but most of it is from outside country. And then you're trying to work around, the structures that keep you stay as the non-resident, not a resident. So this kind we call tax avoidance or tax planning. That's many people doing that. But sometimes to become a resident, maybe in some situations you pay less tax. But let's see, we will analyze case by case. It doesn't mean that all residents will pay higher tax. It doesn't mean as always. It depends on level of income, how much you make here, how much you make outside. So that need to take into account. Okay, so in this case, if you are a resident, you're subject to tax on worldwide income. If you are non-resident, you only subject to pay to tax on Cambodian source income. That is the difference. Okay. To define a residency status of each person, we need to understand 3 conditions. If you fall under one of the 3 conditions, you become a resident under tax law. Okay, first of all, we need to look into his residency. If you having a residence, in Cambodia. Second condition is having a principal place of abode in Cambodia. Okay, what? And then the last one is if you stay in Cambodia for more than 182 days in any 12-month period ending in any 12 months ending in current tax years. So current tax years, what is the current tax year? Yeah, 2024 is current tax year. Yeah, 2023, in under tax term they call this is 2024 current tax year, and this is 2023. Okay, and it stand for current tax year. -1 is mean tax year before current tax year. So yeah, so we count 12 months ending current tax year. So how we count 12 months? Let's say, okay, now 19 July 2024. So we count back 12 months. It should start from when? If it is, count back from the 12 months from today's, it should start from, yeah, 20 July 2023. Yeah, that's 12-month period. So if, that person stay in Cambodia for more than 182 days, 182 days equivalent to 6 months. Okay, but when we count 182 days, we count multiple times, which means not just one time. Maybe during 12 months he come to Cambodia, stay a few months, and then he going back. A few weeks later, he come back again. He stay for a few days, a few weeks, and then he going back. So we count on multiple entries into Cambodia, not one single entry. So we add all his time in Cambodia during that 12-month period. If it exceed the 182 days, then he's become a resident of Cambodia. Okay, we look at the condition 1. What does the resident mean? So a person has a resident in Cambodia if he owns, rents, if he owns, or he rents, or has available for use in Cambodia a house, an apartment, etc. Can be condo. Right now we have condo. What else? A type of like a house that you are staying. So if he owns a house, he buys a house, or he buys a condos. If he rents a house, rent a condo, rents an apartment in Cambodia, at the day that he signed the contract with the landlord, if it is renting, or the days that his name appear on the title certificate of that properties, of that house, of that condos, this person will becomes the become the resident of Cambodia. Yeah, from the day that he signed the contract. In case rent. So we don't need to wait. We don't need to count anymore. We don't need to wait and to count anymore. Okay. That's one condition. Second is place of abode. So under tax law, they say, such, it's determined on facts, such as center of economic interest. Probably we own a business here. He run a business here. But, when you own a business, it doesn't mean that you have to stay here for just need to stay here. You can travel around, or maybe not stay here. Many business owner not stay here because he hire an executive to actually run the business on their behalf. And amount of time spent also take into account where the family reside, which means if his family staying here, his wife, husband, or children staying in Cambodia. And yeah, another condition is you have a personal bank account in Cambodia. And also main social activity. He always come to enjoy his time, probably every weekends. He's work in Thailand, but he have a lot of good friend here. He have a lot of social activity here, come to enjoy with his friends, families here in Cambodia. When he want to have a social activity, he never go to any country. He choose Cambodia as a main social activity, but it's hard, in reality, it's hard to identify like that. But most of the time, the place of abode will look at the bank accounts. Yeah, bank accounts, or probably it's easy to also measure it. Is the family, members stay in Cambodia or not? Yeah. So this is second conditions. The last one, number of days in Cambodia, need not to be consecutive, as already explained. So present in any part of a day is count as a full days. So sometimes, one day we have 24 hours, but here, just part of a day, it means 1 hour here in Cambodia, they also count as 1 day, under tax law. So it doesn't mean that he have to stay 24 hours to count as 1 day, but any part, 1 hour, half an hour of that day is also count as 1 day. Okay. Okay. So the three conditions. First one is the residency. Residence. You have the owner he rents a house, apartment, condos, or he own it. And secondly, place of abode, which means he have a main center of economic interest. Maybe he own a business. Time spent, families stay in Cambodia, personal bank accounts, or main social activities. Last one is the numbers of days stay in Cambodia. Okay. So these three conditions usually come out during exam, multiple choice question quite often. I think it's almost like more than 90%, they will come out during the exam, trying to remember all of the three conditions. Yeah. But based on first condition, it doesn't mean that you sign a rent contract, rent agreement with the landlord, to rent a house, and then you always say that you are a resident under tax law. You are a resident under tax law. So the tax department, they may decide on a case-by-case basis for each condition. Sometimes, you're trying to avoid paying some tax, some tax, sort of salary tax, as you can see, to become a resident, you pay more. If you're non-resident, pay less. But some tax, when you are a resident, you pay less. A non-resident, pay more. And as I said, it depends on transaction and situation of each person. Okay, now we know the residency status. Yeah, of course, all Cambodian people are resident. This condition apply for foreigners come to work in Cambodia, and earn income from Cambodian source. Okay, what kinds of salary income that are subject to tax on salary? So salary income from employment activity are subject to monthly tax on salary. So tax on salary, we pay every month. We pay every month. So all salary income that we earn from our employment activity. So what is the salary definition under tax law? Yeah. Under accounting rule, do we have a salary definitions? Yes. What is the definition of salary? Huh? Exactly like this? Are you sure? Can anyone confirm that is correct? Yeah. Yeah. Like this? Okay. We also have a definition of salary under labor law. Yeah, under labor law. Tax law and labor law slightly, mostly the same. Yeah, mostly the same. But the labor law, they exclude here fringe benefits. So because why labor law have to create a definition of salary? Because salary is a basis to calculate our times, and sometimes it's other compensation or maybe a pension funds of each employee or social contribution fund or something like that. So most of those funds, the basics to calculate under the labor law, because only labor law define how much each employee should pay for pension funds, for social security funds, or maybe other funds that they create under the labor law. So they only use the salary basis. OT also the same. Yeah. But tax law, they're trying to say that everything, include all remunerations, wages, bonuses, and overtimes. Yeah, OT, compensation, and fringe benefits. They say that this is all of this is a salary tax. It's a salary which paid to an employee, or which are paid, which are paid to employee, which are paid for direct, you see the word direct, or indirect advantage of employee for fulfillment of employment activity. So why they mention about direct or indirect? Yeah, they're trying to trying to protect the taxing rights. Sometimes you say, hey, if you don't say about indirect, so direct, it means the employee can negotiate with the employer. Okay, you pay me, let's say he have like he generate salary $10,000 per month. Okay, for him I only need 500. Okay, he said 1,000, but $500 pay to me, another 500 pay to my wife or husband or whatever. So yeah, if you say, okay, if they forgot to say the word indirect, and then they say, oh yeah, I only pay salary on $500 because this is direct payment to me. So that's my salary that's subject to tax on salary, only 500. So another 500 not pay direct to me, indirect, to be exempted. Yeah, but actually the two payments is a compensation for his employment activity with the firms, right? But it just they change the payment method. 500 to him, another 500 to his wife. So he don't want to argue with his wife, sometimes like many Asian husband will do, your money and her money is all her money. Okay. Same like me. She always asks how much I make a month. Okay. If I'm not showing her all of it. If there's some sort of different, I have to explain why is it short? Why you spend on this and that? So okay. To avoid all of this trouble at the beginning of each month, then I have to show everything. After that, she will, pay me back some for daily expense. Okay, so this is kind of like trying to protect the kinds of like tax avoidance. They try to reuse the loophole under the law, and that's why they state the word direct or indirect. Okay, so that is the definition of the salary. It means almost everything you earn each month. Okay, next, we know almost everything subject to tax on salary. So then we need to know if we required to pay a tax on salary only when we are an employees, when we become an employees. So employee under tax law, they said a physical persons receiving salary from their employment activity. Okay, employment activity, including any responsible officer or directors of an enterprise, any governmental officer, any elected official except member of parliaments and Senate. So senator, member of parliaments, yeah, they are exempt from tax on salary. But the rest required to pay tax on salary, including government officer. You work for the government, you pay the same salary tax as you work in the private sectors. Pay less or more, it depends on how much your salary income earn each month. Okay, as you can see, they say the word responsible officer or director of an enterprise. This word is create controversial in practice, because when you set up a legal entity, I'm trying to talk a little bit about it. When we set up a legal entity, a company, limited liability company, they require to have at least one director to represent the companies, at least one. We call director under law on commercial enterprise. And director represent in the boards of the director, in the board, they may not work for a company on a daily basis, and some will work on a daily basis that we call non-executive director and executive director. If a non-executive director, which means he just represents a company, you don't come to work, you don't come to work. If executive directors, he come to work every day. And if he's executive directors, that director will become employees of the companies. Yeah. But based on this definition, when the tax department look at the company and they see, oh, there's a board of directors, but many of them are non-executive. But they said, yeah, based on the definition of employee under tax law, directors, the term director, the word director exists. And that's why it doesn't matter he come to work or not come to work. He's supposed to receive a salary. He's supposed to be an employee of the companies. And that he need to pay salary tax. So, yeah, but such interpretation is not correct. So to get a salary, you need to come to work every day. If you don't come to work, no one going to pay you. Yeah. Okay, this is a definition of employees. And now you know, are you an employee or not an employee? Okay, next, we know employee, and then we have to know the employers. Who is the employer? The term employer include any government institutions, any resident legal persons, Yeah, all companies, you know, company limited, company co Ltd. That's I said. Company limited, that's a legal persons. And near resident pass-through. Resident pass-through. Have you heard about this term before? Yeah. So resident pass-through. This is kind of like a bit, you know, a business run by a group of people, you know, run by a group of people. So from, you know, more than one, you know, starting from 2 to 20 people. So you run a business as a physical person. You are not run a business as a legal person. So when you have like more than one people doing business together and they register as a physical, you know, taxpayers, then they call resident pass-through. Resident pass-through. You know, the same like the three of you, friend, you want to run a business together, but they say, oh, I don't want to establish as a legal entity because as a legal entity, I have to comply so many things. You know, so much as a legal entity, I have to comply a lot of work and will be more expensive. But if, and they decided to just, okay, we set up as a pass-through, a resident pass-through, okay? We sign a contract together, how many percentage, how many interest in that business you should get, you know, 30, 40. Yeah, she got 40. Okay, we sign a contract together and then we register that contract with the Ministry of Commerce and then we run a business. You know, you can do business selling, do a trading service, whatever you want to. So the good thing is that when you run a business as a resident pass-through, when come down to tax payment, you can split. Okay, if you 30, if she's 40, okay, at the end, and then you, okay, how much profit for a whole business, and then you split. Okay, you 30%, you're responsible to pay only 30% of the profit. And he's 30% responsible to pay 30% of his profit. She's 40, you know, 40. If you, let's say your profit is 100, so we can split into like $30. So 30, 40. Each individual person will file their own, they pay their own tax returns. That is a good thing. And the rate will be different. So we will talk about it a little bit under tax on income. But that's how it works. But if you register as a physical, you know, person doing business, one person we call sole proprietor or sole proprietorship. We are not called, we don't call ourselves as a resident pass-through. Or some country they call partnership. Yeah, I think if you call partnership is easier, right? Partnership. But I don't know why they trying to use that difficult word like this. So partnership is easy. Yeah, under one. Like business is one business, you know, like, yeah. But it just that business is owned by three people, based on my example, for example, the three of you. Yeah. And you have to sign, we call partnership agreement, you know, to make it clear that you own how many percent of the whole business, how many percent that you're going to invest in the whole business. Not legal. Yeah. Same. Say one name, one business name. Yeah. But owned by maybe Sok Khun, okay. David. Okay, no, David. Put David, yeah. And another one, no name. Okay. Okay. So yeah, some country they call just partnership. They call but that's partnership. We have legal partnership and, you know, And another one is just unlimited partnership. It means it's not illegal. It means you can join as a partner together, register your partnership agreement with the relevant ministry. Okay, but you can choose limited partnership. It means like a legal entity here in Cambodia. So you only owe, the amount equal to your investments. But if unlimited partnership, it means if the business go, going not doing not good, you lost money, the business owe other, they will come to collect the debt from your personal liability. You actually you bear your personal liabilities on behalf of the business. But if you leave, limited liability, then how much you invest in that business? If business went bankrupt, that's all. Okay, that's the creditor can come to claim only whatever the company have, the business have. It cannot come to, collect the the debt from our, owns accounts. Okay, everyone get it? But in practice, not many, in tax law they have, but actually under commercial law, they only have the word partnership. They don't have the word pass-through. But I don't know why the tax law trying to create another, a different terms. But nobody actually register under this, because they say unlimited sometimes it's hard, if you the business not going well, and then you need to support the business. Okay, of course, the agreement say 30, 40, but sometimes you don't have that 30%, you need to put more money to support the business so that the business survive. Then maybe you don't have, but she has, and then become a fight. And then when we fighting each other, okay, we want to close business, but we close business, okay, fine, no problem, you can close. But the debt of the company, of the business, who going to pay? She has money, but you don't have. Okay, but then they say maybe sometimes the creditor cannot collect anything from him, but but he also signed on the document, because he also the owner of that business. She's also owner. They know that she has money. Okay, she's trying to sue her for that, that debt. And that's why when we have like more than one people, normally we don't do that. We will create a risk for each partners. So they will choose a company limited liabilities. Okay. Because if the company went bankrupt, okay, all the creditor only sue the companies. So all the investor, okay, fine, no problem. I will put 30%, all investment, I promise, I already put it in. So don't come to me. Okay, do whatever with the companies, not me. That is the protection of liabilities. Permanent establishments. Okay, this is related to the foreign investor. So foreign investor, then when they come to invest Cambodia, have two choice to set up a company, to set up a business as a legal person, or we call subsidiary. Or permanent establishment, just in short, PE. If you want to do business here, they have two options: to set up a legal person, to set up a subsidiary, own 100%, whatever, or a PE, permanent establishment. So they set up a branch. Yeah. So what is the difference between subsidiary and branch? Branch, if you set up a branch, and the tax law they call permanent establishment. So a branch is a place, a permanent establishment is a place of a non-resident doing business in Cambodia. It's a place of a non-resident, which means a foreign company doing business here in Cambodia. Yes, subsidiary also a place, but it's just a legal status is different. Yeah, legal status is different. If subsidiary, they call, under Cambodian law, they call legal entities. So yeah. But as I said, to establish subsidiary compliant, more cost, but it's a brand less compliant. Similar to the local investor set up a legal or set up as a physical person. So that's concern. That is the condition that all of those foreign investor or foreign company, they will decide. Or sometimes based on projects. Sometimes they have the project here in Cambodia only three years or 4 years, something like that. And then if they register as a subsidiary, they spend a lot of money, a lot of compliance, a lot of cost, because they're going to do business only 3 years in Cambodia. And the permanent establishment would be the best option for them, because less cost, less compliant. After they finish the job and then they close, they go. Yeah. And for some projects, such as we have, maybe we get a loan from foreign countries. So the loan for, road construction, like for example, National Road 5. So all of those contractors hired by Cambodian government will get the tax exemptions. No need to pay tax here in Cambodia on a loan projects. And for such, big job, local company cannot do it. Cambodian government always hire a foreign construction company to build the road. So if to get a loan from Japan's main contractor from Japan's, if you get a loan from China, all from China. If you get a loan from Korea, all from Korea, except the loan from ADB, World Bank. Okay, the Cambodian government can choose, whoever the contractor is. But for some many countries, the loan from directly from the countries, normally they will ask the Cambodian government to employ their construction companies. So the construction will take like 3 to 5 years and tax exempt business activity. And that's why a brand's option is the best for them. Okay, but if register as a brand, we call permanent establishment. But permanent establishment also count if you probably non-resident, only rent a warehouse just to store the good. They don't want to establish a company or a brand, but they come to Cambodia. They know a lot of the customer here. They said, okay, I will rent a warehouse and I will bring the good in. I know the customer already. They will come to, buy the product at my warehouse, and that's it. But if you own the warehouse, then under tax law, this is a permanent establishment. Okay, no need to worry. We will discuss more. This is relevant. This is relevant when we study tax on income. Yeah, we'll discuss. But a branch or a place of a foreign company doing business, if you have that's place also called employers. That's also called employer. It doesn't mean that if you establish as a branch, you can, you don't call you as employer, you are also employer. NGO, non-profit organization, also called employers. And any resident physical person carrying on business. This is like a sole proprietorship kind of business. You are a sole proprietor, run a business by choosing not register as a legal person. So those entities are employers. Okay. Employee, now employer. Not enough. Okay, not enough. You need to know about the relationship between employee and employer. Sometimes you think that, oh yes, I work for this company, I work for this entity, works every day, 8 hour, 10 hour, 6 hour a day. Yeah, I'm supposed to be an employer, employees. Of course, you set up a company, you set up business, you set up a non-profit organization. By definition, we just learn you can become an employer. But yeah, you can become an employer only you fulfill the employer relationship. So we have 4 conditions to define whether your relationship is employee-employer. If the relationship is employee-employer, then what the employer pay to the employee will call salary. Yeah. So under tax law, they said if you meet 2 of the 4 conditions, such relationship will call employer-employee relationship. Of course, what the employer paid to that employee will subject to tax on salary. But if the relationship is not, then what that employer paid to that person will not subject to tax on salary, maybe subject to a different tax. But of course, from the definition we just learned, okay, all business, all company is employer, in general. Like ComEd is also an employer. So let's try to assess my relationship with ComEd, whether I an employee of ComEd or not, and what I get, from teaching here will be subject to tax on salary or not. Okay. Say he is not at risk of non-payments of employment service rendered as long as he appear for works at a designated place and perform tasks which are part of a general employment agreement, written or oral. So employment contract can be written, can be oral. A lot of people will say, some, oral promise is not a contract, but the contract law say still a contract. Yeah, but why we need a written? Because sometimes we forget, they forget, or sometimes we forget. That's why, okay, if we have some sort of a written contracts, then okay, even though we really forget, but when we look at the contract, we know, oh, what is our promise, what is our obligation, our responsibility is. So it means if he's come to work at the place that, at the place that a employer want you to do during the times that he wants you to work, at the month end, he will get paid. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether he, his work is, his work's outcome is good or bad. Like the same like me. So I need to come to teach from 4:15 to 5:45, 1.5 hours at ComEd buildings. So I have to come. Whether my teaching quality is good or not good, you complain, or maybe you appreciate or not. Even though you appreciate that my teaching quality is good, ComEd will pay me the same amount of money. If I'm teaching is bad, you complain. If they still want to keep me, they still pay me the same amounts of money based on what we agree. So I have no risk at all, not to get paid. So I will get paid whatever when I come to teach here within the time frame that they want me to do based on general employment contracts. That's one condition. Maybe I fall under one condition already, because I cannot refuse, Sorry, I cannot choose whether I have to, where I can teach. Second condition is he is not able to fix times and place for rendering the employment services, which means if ComEd ask me to teach here during this time, 4:15 to 5:45. I have to come and teach here within that time frame. I cannot say, no, I don't like your building. Your building is so bad, and too far from my home. Okay, I have a place look better and close to my home. Please ask your student go to my place. Okay, I don't like this time, this time not good for me, especially Friday. I need happy Friday times. I don't teach from 5. Okay, if you want me to teach morning, okay, something like that. So I have, as employee, you cannot say that. If you say that, you will get fired. Say, oh, I have to employ you. You stupid, crazy. Yeah. Okay. I have to follow. The third one. So, he is not, maybe he is not required to have a significant investment in equipment necessary to render the employment activity. It means you don't need to buy anything, in order to perform the employment activity. The same like me. I don't need to buy all of this, all of this, I just come, I just put on my clothes, which the school require me to do, like as a professional teachers or something like that. That's just enough. I don't need to buy. Even water they give it to me, so I don't need to buy water. But that's so you don't need to do anything. Then there's a condition as employee. He does not supply service to several recipients simultaneously. What does it mean? He does not supply services to several recipients simultaneously. What does it mean? For me, I have 2 jobs. Yeah? Teach here at CAMET. At the same time, I have full-time job at my firm, VDB Lloyds. I work full-time there. I sign a contract to work 8 hours a day. Yeah. And, every day I come to teach here. Some day 1.5 hours, some day 3 hours. Yeah. How about the condition? Looking at my, situations, this condition is applied to me? No, right? Yeah, it should be no, because I agree with my firm. My working hour from 8:30 to 6 p.m. But I left my office 3:30. Yeah, it seemed like it. During the time frame that I promised with another firm, and then I also perform a service for another firm. So this condition is not, it's not applied to my situation. Okay, fine. This condition is not. Cross it out. But if I complete my work at VDB Lloyd at 6 and then I left 6 p.m., okay, I come to teach here. Okay, fine. Because we are talking about several recipients simultaneously, it means during the time that you agree to work with one organizations, like VDB Lloyd 8 hours, I cannot do another work during that time frame, but I can do a work after I complete, my responsibilities during that times. Then of course I can do it. But even though this condition is not it's not applied, but I think my situation, this is, I think, yes, I said sometime, my teaching quality is not that good, but I still get paid the same amount of money. Yeah, teach the box. I can not say to come and say, oh, I don't want to come to your office, or I want to change, times. Okay, and then I don't need to invest anything. So I made 3 conditions. Then I become CAMET employees. Okay, whatever I get from CAMET, the incomes, income from it, they call salary incomes. They call salary incomes. Then that's income subject to tax on salary. But it depends on the situation, because if you are an employee of one organization, you have to follow the rule. You have no room or little room to actually argue with them. If you don't like the rule, okay, you can, argue or provide a recommendation. But if employer doesn't want to change, you have no choice. Then you have to leave. That's employee. But if not employee, then you have, a lot of bargaining power. If you are not employee, but you still provide a service to that organization, if you are not fall under this condition, they call a third-party service provider or contractor. Yeah, so third-party service provider or contractor. If you are not fall on this, but you are provide a service, we call contractor. Contractor, you can negotiate, say, oh yeah, I have a busy schedule today, I don't do it. Okay, I know my scope of work, I don't do today, but I do tomorrow, or I do tonight. As long as it's complete, and then we can negotiate. If the another parties agree, fine. But employees, it's hard. It's hard to actually bargain. Okay. So now you know what is the employer is, and the relationship that create a tax on salary implications. Questions? No. This condition also come out quite often during final exam. So remember all of them. Residencies, condition, employee-employer relationship, also the definition of salary, and definition of employee and employer. So this is a main point under this subject. Okay. Okay. Now we are talking about salary or remunerations not subject to tax on salary. As you can see, whatever you get paid, monthly wages, bonus, overtimes, compensations, and fringe benefit, all called salary, all called salary. Okay. It doesn't matter you call the income from your employment activity always subject to tax on salary. But there are some income you get from companies, but exempt from tax on salary. Number one, they call real refund on professional expenses. Real refund on professional expenses. But should be made by employee under assignment and for the benefit of employer, and satisfy 3 following conditions. So it means employer, on top of your monthly salary, your overtimes or kinds of other benefit you get every month. But when you perform certain tasks, employer also, like as a professional service or an extra works for them, for the employer benefit, employer pay you more. So this is kind of like, in general, we call mission expenses, missions payments. Yeah. But you need to meet 3 conditions. First condition is that made directly, made for direct and exclusive interest of the employer or enterprise. Okay. Second condition, not too much. So what does it mean? So just example, Cambodia is a school. We try to promote, the school, not just Cambodia, but other province. Okay, they see that, tax subject is quite popular here, everyone have to pay tax. And maybe one of the topics that CAMED want to bring out that, oh, CAMED school have a, a dedicated tax, Cambodian tax subject in a bachelor degree program. Maybe some other school doesn't have. And then CAMED want to show off that, oh, we have a good teachers, to teach all of this. Okay, but if you want to have a promotion campaign, or maybe, at some school, some university in Siem Reap. Okay, but based on my employment contract, the amount that I get every month, only when I come to perform a service, a teaching service here at CAMAT bidding. Based on the agreement, they didn't say that I have to go to teach at Siem Reap, in Siem Reap. But, the school say, hey, we do it together. But it's the benefit of mostly for a company. But, if we can get more students, then your teaching hour will be more, and then you will make more money, something like that. But of course, that's a part of the discussion. But okay, Ken, if you go there, I will pay for your, expense. Because if I'm going to teach there, I have to pay for food, I have to pay for travelings, I have to pay for my, accommodations. But if I'm not going there, I'm not going to pay extra. So I can eat at homes, I can traveling in Phnom Penh is all way the same. So I stay at my homes, then no extra cost. So, but if I'm go to teach at in Siem Reap, I have to create an extra cost. But of course, CAMAT will pay me back if I if I pay for those expenses. So that's we call refund, real refund for professional expense. But of course, we not, let's say, not extravagant, not too much. Let's say, you can see that you go to a very nice restaurant in Siem Reap, we pay $50 per meal, but CAMAT pay me $100 per meal. It's mean too much, right? Yeah, it's too much. And supported by invoice. Okay, when I come back, I have to show to the, to CAMAT that, okay, this is the invoice for meal, this is invoice for accommodation, this is invoice for transportations. Of course, CAMAT will refund back all of those, payment to me. So that's one type of incomes or remuneration that you receive extra, that is not subject to tax on salary. It means they exempt. Question? No. This is kind, in practice, you can see sometimes in, like we talk here, it seems like straightforward, but in practice, more complicated. Yeah, maybe we will learn about it. And not just bring benefit alone, all of this real, reimbursement on professional expenses lead to other tax as well. We will learn more. That's why it creates more complicated. If tax on salary alone, straightforward. Okay, if you go for a mission, come back, get a receipt, get an invoice, refund back, not extravagant, then okay, exempt from tax on salary. But on top of that, we will look what you pay, whether it's subject to another tax or not. Yeah, we will learn about it. No worry. Second, payments that you get on top of your monthly salary, indemnity for layoff within the limit as provided by in the labor law. This is when the employer fire you. They had you complain too much, don't follow their order, don't follow the rule. You don't smart enough. You are not smart enough. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But of course, as an employee, when you create employee relationship, it's not easy to fire a person, because employee and employee relationship will, that kind of relationship will be protected by labor law. So employer can fire employee when they commit certain, wrongdoing, like serious misconduct or kinds of like, seriously violate to the company rule or something like that. That's maybe they can fire that employee without getting, without payment of this kind of indemnity. But if they just, maybe their performance is not that great under labor law, that is employer responsibility to teach and train that employee, in order for them to do work better. You cannot just say, okay, 1 month, 3 months, he doesn't perform well. Okay, get rid of him, fire him, recruit new people. Cannot. You have to show to the labor department saying, hey, this employee, their performance is not good. Not just this years, but also last year, we provide a lot of training already, but his performance is still below what we expect. But most of the time, it's hard to actually, employer have a difficult time if the employee doesn't commit some sort of, like violation to a serious violation to the company rule. Just say his performance is not good or whatever. Employer always, lost the case. Employee can claim the indemnities. But of course, a lot of companies, they have a strategies. They know they want to fire that person, but that person, the mistake is not big enough to actually fire him without paying indemnities. Then they put the pressure on employee, give them more work. Okay, more work. Okay, you cannot do it. They come in the morning, shout at you. Why you cannot do this? Why you cannot do that? 3 consecutive months, I believe that, you cannot stay. I say, oh, crazy. Place is not the place for me. I have to go. That's what I also experienced. And many, these strategies, most of accounting firm, law firm, professional firm, they will do. Yeah. We decide to say, hey, you are good, you are smart, you are working hard, if you want to grow, you have to do this and that and that, they come with a very nice word to you and say, okay, then this is your responsibility. Okay, this is all the job you can do. Yeah, if you can do this, you will get this. They know that you cannot do, but they just come to you with a very nice word, try to say you good this and there. and at the end of the day, the target is just want to get rid of you. Okay. So, but of course, if we pay, the employee will get the monies, but exempt from tax on salary. Third, income, additional remuneration with social characteristics, where there is provision in the labor law. Yeah, this is kind of like a payment related to social characteristic, like pension funds, social security funds. Social security fund is kind of like insurance, working hour insurance, some insurance like sickness, illness, all of those. So if employer pay you this kind of payments, you are exempt, but only when you pay based on the level law required. But in practice, many good companies, they will pay on top of that. They will pay on top of a labor law state. So for labor law, like like Cambodia, we call BOSOSO, social security funds. So so when the employee gets sick, they can go to the hospital and they get cure for free, no need to pay, kind of insurance. But some company, they will buy the insurance from private insurance companies. As long as you provide for all of employee equally, you also exempt from tax on salary. We will talk about it later on about this. The fourth, income. They said that income, supply, gratis or below acquisition cost of special uniforms or professional equipment. Yeah. Some company, they require you to wear uniform. Okay, wear uniform. Yeah. So some company will provide you for free. Some will, collect some money from you. Not up to the cost that they purchase, they pay for, but but some company will pay. If your company have a policy that's all employee come to work have to wear uniform, and then you provide a free uniform to the employee. Yeah, the employee seem to get some sort of payment in cash, sometimes in kinds, like as a uniform. This kind of payment that employee receive are exempt from tax on salary. Okay. Yeah, if you want to get to wear uniform every day, you should work for Japanese company. Japanese company, they have a uniform. Yeah. And they pay for it like 2 uniform per year or something like that. But it's good for them, for Japanese, everyone, CEO up to the lowest level of the employee wear the same clothes. Yeah, it seemed like everyone looked the same. Okay, that's number 4. Number 5, flat allowance for mission and related expense. Flat allowance for mission and travel expenses. But they said this allowance should not overlap with the real refunds provided above. So number 1 and number 5, the payment that the employee receive on the same natures, but it's just the structure of the payment the employee can get. First, okay, you get on a real refund, which means you have to show invoice and receipt. You can only get that. But number 5, we call flat allowance. So some company, they don't want to, they don't want, some company, they don't want to spend a lot of time, to review the receipts or invoice that employees spend, on the missions. Then they just decided, okay, if you go for a mission for 1 day, I will pay you $50 per day. I don't care how much you spend on food, how much you spend on traveling, how much you spend on accommodations. Just $50 per day is the rate. Okay. So, of course, employee will get $50 per day. Okay, this is an additional income for them. But this kind of additional income is not subject to tax on salary. Yeah. So, but that's flat allowance will be exempt from tax on salary, but may subject to another tax if flat allowance is too high. If it is too high. So what is the comparison rate? They compare with the government's rate. If they pay more than a government officer, so the excess amount was subject to another tax we call fringe benefit tax. Okay, but we will talk about fringe benefit tax later on. Okay, this is 5 different incomes that employee receive and exempt from tax on salary. Questions? No? Yeah, more. Salary not subject to tax on salary. Said salary and other benefit of the officer and employee of diplomatics or consular missions, holding diplomatics or official passport of that government. Yeah. If you work for a diplomatics missions or consular mission, it means you work at the embassies of a country, but you can be exempted from tax on salary if you hold we call diplomatics passport or official passport. Yeah. We also have Cambodian government also have the officer, they have like a normal passport, like all people can have, and then they have if they work in diplomatics, work, and then they will get another passport we call diplomatics passport for those officials. So they will exempt. But if you don't hold this, of course, you work at the embassy, you still pay normal tax on salary. Okay, also salary and other benefit of foreign representative, official, employee of international organization and agency of technical cooperation and other government. So, yeah, for people work in diplomatics, mission, and all employee work for international organizations and agency of technical cooperation of for other government also exempt. But this employee does not require to have a, we call diplomatic passport or official passport, like a normal passport. Can be anybody, can be Cambodian, can be foreigner, as long as you work for this organization. Yeah, as a representative or as a, a key technical consultant or advisor for certain projects. For certain project also exempted, but all representative of this organization always exempt. But he does not require to have diplomatic passport or official passport. So like a normal passport. Can be Cambodian, can be foreigner. It doesn't matter as long as you hold a position as a representative official. You already know, right? What is the international organization is? What is the agency of technical cooperation? And third ones, we call employee of technical assistant projects. You work for a specific project. That's project funded by who? Those projects funded by international organization or agency of foreign governments. So when you work for a specific project, the project that funded by international organization and the projects that funded by a agency of technical cooperation of a foreign government, the project funded by UN, project funded by UNDP, for international organization, project funded by USAID, project funded by COICA or JICA or anything. That employee can be exempted from tax on salary if his name appear on that project's document. I mean, is there any problem? Huh? I don't understand. An employee can get exemption tax on salary if you work for, we call technical assistant projects. Technical assistant projects. The project that they call, under Cambodian, they call technical assistant, which means those organizations here and this person will fund that project, and then he employs an employee to work for that project. Okay, and then if you work for the project, you will get paid as a salary. Yeah, only international and foreign agency. Cannot cannot. If funded by ComEd, pay all pay full tax. But if the money from the UN, from UNDP or whatever, all international organization, if you work for that project and your name appear on the project document, because when the government, Cambodian government want to do something, they would propose a proposal. Oh, I want to study about, some sort of, climate change. Okay, and then come up, okay, this is what they want to do, what they want. Okay, then you need a real technical advisor, four people. So, and then they put the name, maybe you, in that project document. You are project managers. He's maybe technical assistant, or she's responsible for, if you have a name in the project document and the project funded by these two entities, and this project approved by Ministry of Economy and Finance, the salary that you get exempt. But if still, the project called technical assistant project, but the money from ComEd, still called the same technical assistant project. Whoever, anybody can fund the government, but most of the time, international organizations will fund the government. Private company, no, usually not. Okay, you get it? Other? So yeah, kinds of special projects. They also call technical assistant project, like to study about expressway or something like that. Yeah, if the money that's to spend for that project get from international organization or other government, okay, that that technical person work for the project will be exempted from tax on salary. Okay, but that's only for technical assistant personnel. But if you work as admin, as admin, or maybe you call clerical positions for the project, maybe accountants or admin manager, whatever, those is not related to a technical work, all pay tax. All pay tax, even though they are work in the same projects. But they only exempt for the guy who have a special skill, like as a technical advisor to specific areas, specific work, and specific issue that the government really want to, or the project that they want to have. But other people are not related to the technical work, pay tax on salary as normal. And that's why these people always complain, they come to me, it's unfair. They get low pay tax. This technical guy get very high pays. Sometimes, they get like at least 10K per month. They work only like 4 hours a day and they get 10K per month. The guy work 8 hours, admin and accountant work 8 hours, get paid, you may 500, 1,000, 2,000, but they pay tax. Okay. Okay, you get this? Yep. So then you have to work harder to become a specialist, work in certain project, and you don't pay tax. Huh? Yeah, it seems like our government provide a priority or encourage those people, because that is a kind of like a set, this is like a kind of mentalities where Cambodian government thinks that we don't have this kind of resource, we lack of the resource. And that's why if you want that good resource, good people come to work with this project, yeah, to in order to encourage and motivate them to work, so provide the tax exemptions like we discussed about tax incentive, like QAP. Okay, but maybe in the future they don't have they don't have this, I don't know. But this kind of rule we are not only country, but many country also apply the same rule, but only the fund from international organization. Yeah. Okay, so enough for today's. Yeah. See you guys again next week, Tuesday next week. Okay, have a good weekend. Do you have weekend class? No.